first of all, I thank all of you to join us for this session. This is basically our first session for our SBM, that is for November 2021, basically. ICAW, as you people know, that ICAW means Institute of Chartered Accountant in England and Wales, basically. We already had our orientation, so if you have attended, that's fine. If you missed out our orientation, then you can just share your details, so we will send you a link for orientation. This is basically my brief profile. I am Noman Yakat, your mentor, your tutor for ICAW exam. I am basically ACCA, ICAW member, ACCA member, FCCA. Apart from that, I also hold membership for many other qualifications of IFAC. I have more than 7 years of teaching experience, and I am teaching with different online forums, approved learning partners of different qualification. Apart from this, I am also a Oxford Brookes mentor, and I have more than 5 years of industry experience, and I have worked in different groups in different positions in accounts, finance, audit, and taxation department. Apart from this, I am also a lecturer at some university, and I also hold business finance professional qualification from UK here as well, basically. So this is a brief introduction about my side. So let's start directly with our SBM, because we already had our orientation, and today's session is basically about SBM, basically. SBM, that is basically strategic business management. SBM, strategic business management. This is basically a second exam in ICAW advanced level. First of all, you have corporate reporting. Second, we have SBM. Either you can take corporate reporting along with SBM, or you can take one by one. It's entirely up to you. It depends on you how you are going to structure your exam, basically. So after the orientation, after this session, I will be available, so we can discuss which exam suits you best, either corporate reporting, SBM, or both. So we will discuss it too. In this session, we are going to discuss the syllabus and structure of SBM, basically. In SBM, strategic business management, first of all, we have business analysis side. We have 4 different portions. First of all, we have business analysis. Business analysis is basically you have to analyze the business, what's going on, what's going right, what's going wrong, what you need to change, basically. This is a business analysis. What operation, what segments are performing good, what segments are performing bad here as well. So you have to completely analyze your business. This is called business analysis. And in business analysis, we will apply different concepts, different models, different approaches. And business analysis contains approximately 30 to 40% of your SBM syllabus, basically. So 30 to 40%, that's a very major portion for your SBM. Second, we have finance. Finance is approximately 25 to 35%. So this is basically our second major portion for our SBM exam, basically. Sometime when we talk about the finance, so there are different students who join from different backgrounds. Normally there are some students, some people who are from ACCA background. So if you are from ACCA background, so people are afraid, like for example, if they have covered the P6 and P7, so they don't, if they have not studied the P4, that is advanced financial management, then they are quite worried how they are going to cover this finance. You should not be worried. Why? The reason is that we are going to start from our basics. We will start from basics, basically. So it doesn't matter, either you have studied the finance, either you have studied the P4, or you have not studied the P4. It will not affect your exam performance. It will not affect our sessions, basically, because we will start from our basics. So first of all, we have business analysis 30 to 40%, finance we have 25 to 35%. Third, we have reporting and audit, and it is approximately 10 to 15%. And lastly, we have ethics in our real exam, basically. We also have ethics in our this SBM structure. In reporting and audit and in ethics, you can see this is basically an overlap. These are basically the common areas as you will be studying in your corporate reporting basically. So there is an overlap between corporate reporting and SBM for some portion for your reporting, audit and ethics basically. There are some people who just joined us. I will just go for a brief repetition what we have just covered basically. We were just discussing this point that in SBM we have four different areas. Business analysis, it contains approximately 30 to 40% of our syllabus. Finance, it contains 25 to 35%. So these two components, business analysis and finance, these are the major components of your SBM exam. And on a minor side, we have reporting and audit. In reporting, again, we have IAS and IFRS. And audit, we have audit as well. And apart from reporting and audit, lastly, we have a minor portion that is in the form of ethics. So approximately 5 to 10% of your syllabus is basically about SBM, that is strategic business management. So after discussing the syllabus, let's discuss the exam pattern of SBM basically. Why I am skipping some of the slides? Because this has been discussed in detail here as well. So in SBM, again, SBM exam structure, we have total 100 marks. Out of 150 marks are basically the passing marks. So you need to get 50 to make sure that you pass out your SBM exam. So either you talk about the corporate reporting, you talk about the SBM, even you talk about the case study. At advanced level, you have a passing marks of 50. In SBM, there will be two questions, question number 1 and question number 2. Question number 1, that's a major question. You can say that's a major case study. And it contains approximately 55 to 65 marks. 55 to 65 marks will be basically about question number 1, that is a major case study. And this major case study will include your business analysis section, it will include your finance section, and it might include some of your costing or ethics section as well. So we will study different topics, business analysis, finance, costing, and ethics here as well. While we discuss the question number 2, that's a mini case study, or you can say a minor case study. That's a mini case study. Why it is called mini? Because it is of little bit less marks as compared to question number 1. So question number 2 is approximately 35 to 45 marks, and it includes business analysis and finance. But it also includes your reporting side, your audit side, and it might include your ethics basically. So in question number 2, examiner is going to test out your reporting side and also your audit side in this question. And reporting and audit portion, approximately 10 to 15 marks will be here as well. So question number 1, a major case study, 55 to 65 marks. Question number 2, that's a mini case study, that is 35 to 45 marks for our this mini case study that we are going to study. If you will look at the SBM study text, then approximately we have two different sections in ICAEW study manual. ICAEW study manual for SBM has two different sections, section 1 and we have section 2 here as well. So approximately section 1 is about 900 pages, and again section 2 is also about approximately we have 900 pages in section 2 here as well. So in total there are approximately 1800 pages for your ICAEW study manual for SBM. So definitely it might not be possible to revise, to recall, to study all of these 1800 pages. So what we have done, we have developed some of the notes here as well. And I am sharing in front of all of you. This is basically a sample note for chapter number 2, that is basically about strategic choices. So what we have done, so for complete SBM, we have developed our notes from ICAAW study manual and from other relevant resources, just to make sure that students save a lot of time for their exam preparation. It is easy to use these notes. It is easy to understand, to learn, to read, remember, and revise these points before their exam day. So these are the contents what we are going to study in chapter 2. This is strategic choices, generating strategic option, strategic decision making, evaluation of option, international strategies, and finally it will be basically about digital strategies here. So these are some of the content of our complete chapter number 2. This is basically our first topic, topic number 1, strategic choices, and this is basically about first topic. This is our topic 2, generating strategic option. Different pictures, different diagrams we have, just to make sure, just to help you people, so you learn these concepts very easily. So we have complete notes for SBM, and those notes will be shared with you. So it will be much easier if you are not going to study, if you are not going to revise 1800 pages. So that is perfectly acceptable. You can completely solve out your exam here as well. Apart from these notes, there will be some short notes here as well, and that will be shared with all of my students here as well. Now let's discuss what will be our approach to cater our SBM exam. Basically, what will be our approach, how we are going to study our SBM exam, and how we are going to approach our advanced level, either it's a corporate reporting, it's SBM, or any other exam. First of all, what we are going to do, we are going to go for our syllabus completion. What we are going to do, we will download the syllabus as I have just downloaded, and I will discuss after just few minutes what is our syllabus for SBM exam for 2021 exam. So first of all, we are going to complete our syllabus for SBM. We are going to use our notes, our slides that I just showed you people. Apart from notes, we will also use 2021 study material. As I told you, approximately we have 1800 pages. So how to use these 1800 pages? What pages do you need to use? What questions you need to attempt, just to make sure that you cover all of your topic and nothing is left for your exam. Basically, we will discuss what you have to use and how you have to use, because your strategy, your preparation matters a lot. Apart from this, there will be some class-based and home-based assignments. Class-based assignments mean, for example, if there are 5 questions of a topic, so we will discuss 2 to 3 questions. I will be discussing 2 to 3 questions here in front of all of students, and remaining 2 to 3 questions will be solved by different students, and we will be discussing those questions, those solutions, those issues in our live session. Why it is so? Just to make sure that our complete class participate, they are very much aware what we are discussing here as well. So they will be participating. So all of our sessions are basically interactive sessions. So we interact with all of our students. This is basically about syllabus. Second, it is basically about practice session. So because only syllabus completion is not enough, what you need to do, you must go with practice, 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 practice. So there will be some regular tests. For example, if you have completed first chapter, second chapter, so after completion of each chapter, there will be a test, and students are going to appear in this test. They will submit their test to me, and I will be reviewing those tests and providing feedback, what you have done, what is right and what is wrong here as well. We are also going to use question bank and past papers for our practice side. So we will be taking some questions from question bank and also from past papers here as well. And we are going to solve more than 70% questions from our question bank and past papers in our sessions basically. So through interactive session, we will solve more than 70% question from question bank and past paper. So for remaining 30%, students will be solving, they will be submitting those questions as a part of assignment, and I will be reviewing them, providing you the feedback. There will be revision classes once our syllabus will be completed. So there will be revision classes here as well. So in the revision classes, we will be discussing some technical areas. We will be taking questions from all of you, and we will also be going through some of the important questions to cover all of your syllabus. And finally, there will be exam tips and technique. These exam tips and techniques are not only at the end of exam, but while we are studying any topic, discussing anything. So I will be sharing exam tips and techniques with you people. And finally, above all, what we are going to do, there will be mock exams basically. Mock exams for your complete syllabus. At least 2 to 3 mock exams just to evaluate you people before exam where you are studying basically. So it will be a very good thing, because when you will be appearing in a mock exam, so you will be having an idea what challenges like time management, write up, question picking, or any other issue that what you are facing. So you will go for complete and comprehensive mock exams from your complete syllabus. So in mock exams, I will be reviewing your scripts and then providing you feedback, what you have done good or what you have done bad, and how we can improve it basically. You can see this is just basically a sample of a student of a mock exam. So what I have done, students share this question and I reviewed this question, what was good and what was bad basically. So I will be reviewing in a similar fashion, in a similar way, and providing you feedback, what you have done good or what you have not done good basically. This was basically our approach, and let's discuss some of the other areas. And these are basically some of our success stories from our 2020. Obviously, we cannot place all of results of our students, so we have just picked some of the results, and these are some of results from our previous students. Obviously, we cannot share their names and their registration number because these are confidential. So corporate reporting, case study, SVM, again SVM, case study. So that's a different types of result. Different students have different exam. Now this is basically something important. That is what it is basically. It is basically our syllabus for SBM, that is strategic business management. So very first step, while you are going for ICAW or any other qualification, the very next step would be, first of all, you should download your syllabus. Why? Because you must have an idea what is your syllabus, what is included in your exam, and how you have to tackle your syllabus. And always use latest syllabus and always use latest study material. When I use the word study material, then study material, it includes your study text, it includes your question bank, past paper, each and everything. Your notes should be updated, and then you have to use your latest study material, because ICAW examiner continuously reviews your syllabus at year end, at each year end, and then they go for some changes. So if you are using old version of study material, then unfortunately you might not be on right track, and so you might not be having an idea what are the changes. So you might be at risk of passing out of the exam. So it is always advisable to use latest study material. So let's move directly. What is our syllabus for our business analysis? In business analysis, we will cover different topics, different points. First of all, we will be talking about strategic analysis. But before we proceed for strategic analysis, we have different levels basically. In ICAW, we have different level. We have different alphabets that you can see in your exam. There are 4 alphabets: A, B, C, and D here as well. What do we mean by these 4 different alphabets? These alphabets play a very, very important role. Why? Because these alphabets tell you in how much detail you have to cover out a single topic. For example, if one topic is at D level means awareness level. So you just need to have a very basic idea about particular topic, particular point, and you should not go into too much detail. Do not spend days and days on any topic that is at D level. C level. C level requires a little bit more knowledge as compared to D level. So you must be having a reasonable understanding about any point, about any topic who is at C level. B level means again you need a little bit more knowledge as compared to C and D level. So you must be having a good understanding. You must know about some of the calculation about any topic. And A level, that is at expert level basically. So you must be having a very, very good idea, a very sound understanding. Complex situations, complex structures are going to be examined from any topic that is at A level. So we have 4 different levels: A, B, C, and D. I just explained these levels so you will be having an idea what do we mean by at each level. In business analysis, we will be having different topic. First of all, we will be talking about the strategic analysis basically. Again, strategic analysis is basically you have to analyze your strategies. What are your different strategies? What is your environment? If your environment is changing, do you think you have to change your strategy? Yes, definitely. Because we know if our environment is changing, if circumstances are going to be changed, so we need to change our strategy. If we are not going to change our strategy, then we might be in a very bad position. Our competitors might kill us. So we have to be very, very careful. That's why we will study different market analysis tool like Pestle model, Porter 5 forces, product life cycle, BCG, Boston Consulting Group, prices and markets, competitor analysis, and many other models here as well. So first of all, we have environmental and market analysis. Then we will be using the position and other analysis tool. We have resource audit, we have value chain, SWOT analysis, gap analysis, and many other points that we are going to use now. Why we need to go for? You just do not need to learn. You need to learn about their application. Application is something that is very, very important. For example, if I just talk about the Pestle model, in Pestle, we have different alphabets: political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and that is legal. So students will be mentioning what are the factors in economic, for example, inflation, GDP, income, and so on. No, it is not just about your knowledge. It is basically about your application. It is basically about skills. Because why? Because you are talking about the advanced level. Let me give you a very simple example. For example, you have a company and your company has some branches in UK, but you think your company is performing very well and you need to expand your business. For example, you have 3 options. You can expand your business into USA. You can expand your business into Gulf countries, and you can expand your business into, let's say, Canada. So what do you think, which option is most suitable for your business, USA, Gulf, or Canada? So definitely you need to perform the analysis. 2 types of analysis would be performed: financial analysis and non-financial analysis. So we will perform the analysis here as well. Analysis both, that is financial analysis and non-financial analysis here as well. Again, in non-financial analysis, we are going to apply different strategies, different models: Pestle, Porter, product life cycle, BCG, SWOT analysis, value chain, and many other points. So practically we will be learning, we are going to learn how we can apply different models, different techniques. This is basically all about your application side. This is basically about your skill side in our this exam. Next topic is basically about strategic choices. Again, as I told you, for example, you can move into different countries in different branches. So if you have different choices, this is called your strategic choice. Again, we will study financial analysis, financial data analysis, stakeholder analysis, and many other points in our strategic choices basically. After choices, the very next step is basically about the implementation. This is basically our strategic implementation. So how we can go for our implementation side basically. Because once our plan has been finalized, so now it's time to practically go for implementation. This is called as strategic implementation. In strategic implementation, first of all, we will learn about business plan. What are business plan? How we can prepare business plan for different businesses. What are the components of a good and effective business plan basically? What are the weaknesses of some of the business plan and how you can overcome those weaknesses with your knowledge, with your skills basically. And apart from business plan, we have some other points: structure, organization structure, information management, change management, and also lastly that is project management here as well. Now it's time for business management. Business management, how you can manage out your business. Here we will be talking about the corporate governance. We will be discussing the information strategy. We will also be talking about the human resource management, that is HR. So how you can manage your employees, different information, your company structure, laws, rule, and we will be talking about performance management and marketing side as well. So in syllabus, we are going to cover each and everything. You will be studying each and every point. The very next point is basically about our costing side. In costing, we will be talking about different techniques. I hope that you people have covered those techniques in your earlier exam, but still we are going to revise those points like cost, what is cost, cost classification, absorption costing, marginal costing, activity-based costing, ABC, break-even analysis, budgeting, and performance management. In pricing, we'll be talking about how you can go for pricing decision, what price you need to set, what is a suitable price for you, transfer pricing, expected values, cash flows, sensitivity analysis here as well. So this is all about our business analysis and costing section. Now our next section is basically about finance portion. It is basically business and shareholder valuation technique. So we will be talking about valuation. For example, if you have to acquire a business, if you want to sell out your business, so what are the important steps? How you can calculate value of your business, how you can calculate value for your share, for your assets. So here we will be talking about different models and different approaches in valuation technique. Apart from valuation, we will be also learning the shareholder value. For example, if you are a shareholder of a company and if you want to calculate value for your share, so what is an appropriate step? What are the appropriate tools that you can apply for your shareholder value approach? Shareholder value analysis, we have VBM, value based management, return on investment, and many other points here as well. Then we have a very good and very important point that is basically about investment appraisal. What is investment appraisal? What is risk analysis? Here we will be talking about investment appraisal at a broader level, and we will be talking about international, that is international investment appraisal. So if you have a foreign investment, so how you can appraise, how you can calculate IRR, how you can calculate payback period, how you can calculate ROC, how you can calculate your NPVs, your MIRR, and many other points for your investment appraisal. So we will be discussing the international investment appraisal adjusted present value. how you have to account for risk in your different calculations, because there is always some uncertainty. Everything is not perfect. Our environment is changing. Exchange rates are fluctuating. So how you have to consider different fluctuations into your calculations basically. Then we will be talking about our financial side. Financial side, we will be talking the cost of capital. What is cost of capital basically? For example, if you have a discount rate that is 18%, this is not as much simple. We need to learn how this 18% is being calculated. There will be some portion of equity, there will be some portion of debt. So we are going to study the cost of capital, cost of equity, cost of debt, that is fact, weighted average cost of capital. And then we will be also talking about CAPM, that is capital asset pricing model. Then we have our next portion that is basically about bonds. What are bonds? What are the different types of bond, and what different types of how different types of bonds can be used in different circumstances and situations? How we can calculate yields to maturity? What are price fluctuation? How we can convert those bonds? How we can calculate values of different bonds into our real exam? Then again, a very important point, that is basically source of finance. So if you are working in a finance department or treasury department, how you can generate finances basically, what options are available for you. So if there are multiple options, so which options are much cheaper, which options are much secure for you, which options are more suitable for your business. So you have to consider different sources, different point, not only in the term of finance, but also in terms of your reporting, audit, and many other points. So you are getting a very good loan, you are arranging a very good sources of finance. Here we'll be discussing the dividend policy, loan agreements, governance, and gearing structure here as well. Then finally, we have financial engineering. What is financial engineering? This is again a very, very important. All topics are very important, but financial engineering is basically, you can say in simple term, that is basically about hedging side. A very, very important topic, a very comprehensive and interesting topic basically. So what is hedging? How this hedging can be used? What is an exchange rate? What is foreign exchange? How forward contracts, option swaps? What are these points? How these points can be used? How interest rate future, option, forwarded agreements can be applied into real world business situations basically. What is option value? What is Black-Scholes model? Real option basically. So each and everything we are going to study in too much detail. Let me conclude again, because most of the students, if they join through the ACCA, then they think if they have covered the P6 and P7 and they have not studied the P4, either you are from any other qualification, so you should not be worried, because we will be studying the strategy, we will be studying our finance section from our very, very basic point of view. So you will not be worried. So each and everything will be covered, and we discuss our syllabus for strategy, for finance, and for our costing side. Regarding a reporting side, it is basically about IAS and IFRS, and it has already been discussed. So this was all from my side. Now what we are going to do, we are going to have our question and answer session. Thank you so much all of you for joining. Now let's start our question and answer session. Thank you.